Good evening, learners. Today we are going to start with a very important concept of any programming language, that is your token. Tokens are very important, be it Python, C, C++, etc. Okay, any other language. Okay. So before starting token, let us understand what is atom. Now we know that atom is the smallest unit of an element. Similarly, if you talk about token, token is the smallest unit of any programming language right now. Because we are learning Python, so we will say that token is the smallest unit of Python. Suppose if you're learning C or other language, you will say that token is the smallest unit of C or C++ or Java. Okay, so because our zone is Python, so we are going to discuss what are the different tokens of Python. Python. Remember one thing, there are five types of token in Python. How many types? There are five types of token in Python. Let us understand practically one by one, so that we can use whenever you're learning other languages in future also. It will be easy for us to understand the concept of token. Okay, so one by one we'll go. First one is your keywords. First one is your keywords. Keywords are also known as reserved words. Keywords are also known as reserved words. So let us understand first keywords. We'll go one at a time, okay, so that our concept is clear. Now, what are keywords? Now, remember, students, one thing, that keywords, the name itself, I suggested that keywords are what? They are reserved words. They are reserved words. Now, you know what a reservation? Something that cannot be used by others. I'll take a very small example. Suppose this is my school. Okay, let me take a school. And school, the main purpose is to teach. Okay, so this is 10A, this is 10B. I'm taking example like this. Okay. Now you remember that in school there are certain groups that are reserved for school. For example, the admin block, the counter. Okay, so this particular area cannot be used by students to go. Similarly, in Python there are certain words. In Python there are certain words that has been reserved. By whom? By the developer of Python, that is Guido von Rossum. Okay, he has reserved it. You cannot use it every. You can use it, but there are certain restrictions for that. We will learn what are the restrictions like that. Okay, so you remember one thing, that first type of token is keywords. Keywords means reserved words, means they have been reserved. Some words has been reserved. We will come across one by one. Okay, next important thing is that they have a special meaning. Means when you use these words to the interpreter, they have a special meaning, means they convey special meaning. It is not a simple word, they have a special meaning also. Okay, so in simple words we can say that keywords are reserved words and they have a special meaning to the interpreter. Okay, now let us understand what are the reserved word. Example, I will give you some, no need to by heart. Example is, for example, int. This is a reserved words. Now next, if you go to that, there is float, if, import. No need to by heart. One by one, as we'll move along forward, you will see that you will understand the different keywords in Python. Okay, for that, what are we going to do? We are going to open our Python ideally. This is our Python ideally. Now, students, before moving forward, see, you can see ideally is written at the top. The full form of ideally is that integrated development learning environment. In simple words, ideally means it is a place where you can run your code, you can design your code, you can execute your code. Everything can be done in a common platform. In previous languages such as C, there is no such ideally. Right now, Python gives us the opportunity to do all the things at one common platform. You can see that this is my original ideally. At the bottom, you can see this is PyCharm. Again, it is ideally from JetBrains. Then you can say this is Jupyter. These all are ideally of Python. You can use any ideally. It is up to you. But starting with, because in starting phase I go with this ideally only. Once we are habitual or we know the concept of Python, then we'll move to this. You can see at the bottom PyCharm, or we can also go for Sublime, any ideally that is easy for you to work. Okay, because when we do the project work, we go for PyCharm only. Okay, so this is my ideally. You can see this is known as Python prompt. This is known as Python form, these three symbols. Okay, this is simple way. So because we are focusing today on tokens, so I'll discuss that once in another session. I'll discuss all these small things that are relevant also, but right now let us focus on tokens. Okay, so we want to see what are the different keywords. That is our purpose, that what are the different keywords in Python. So we write import. Okay, import, you will see when I write import, this red symbol is coming, it means it is a keyword. If this red, if you're writing something and that red letter is coming, it means it is a keyword. It has a special meaning. Okay, as I've told you. So I will write import, and then we will call one of the, we write keyword here, keyword. Okay, after that we are going to write print. Print is a function. Remember, in any language, if this symbol comes, this not, it is a function. Okay, and after that I'm going to write keyword, keyword dot kw list. Okay, I will explain all these things in my another classes, that what are the things. Right now our focus is what are the different keywords or reserved words in Python. Now students, learners, you can see that these are the different. No need to buy heart, please don't buy heart anything, let it be. We'll use it and we'll apply it in our programming in future also. So these are the different keywords of Python. You can see there are maximum are in lowercase except false, none, and true, as you can see at the starting. Okay, so these are the keywords in Python. Let us move to the, so these are special meaning. Okay, means suppose if I write, let me show you, if I write if, again this red symbol, you can see it is a keyword. Let me use global. Global is again a keyword. Okay, but if I write India, it is not a keyword. Okay, you can see India is not there. One more thing students, if I write, for example, if I write uh, let me write if, let me write if is a keyword. Okay, that's why this red symbol is coming, it is a keyword. This is for command line, this hash symbol, it will, I will explain you that what is the meaning of command line in future. So this is a command line. Okay, means it will not be the after comment, after this hash, it is not interpreted, or it is this is for us, this is for our knowledge, it will not be compiled by the interpreter. Okay, now this is if I've written here, that is a keyword. Okay, now if I write if in like this, you will see now this is not a keyword, because Python is a case sensitive language. Again I'm repeating, Python is a what? Python is a case sensitive language. It means that, very important thing, Python is case sensitive language. Okay, language, it means that, in simple words I will explain the things in simple, that it means that there is a difference between capital A and small a. Both are different for Python. This is different, this is different, totally different. Okay, so that's why I told you if is a keyword, so that red is, but if I write capital I, now this is not a you can say this is not a keyword. Okay, why? Because there is a difference between capital I and small I. So Python treats it differently. That's why, very important, write it down. Python is a case in language, means there is a difference between small a and capital A. If you studied HTML, you will see it is not a case, because in HTML if you write break like BR, or if you write BR like this, both is right in terms of HTML, but in Python if you use, it will be an different thing. This is different and this is different. Okay, so this is the concept of case sensitive language. In simple words, there is a difference between capital Z and small z. These two are different identities for Python. Okay, so let us move forward. So these are my first token, that is keywords. Again let me explain you, keywords are reserved words. There is special meaning to the interpreter. Keywords cannot be used everywhere. Before using, you must know how to imply or how to implement keywords. Practically I told you how to know what are different keywords in Python. Right, import keyword, import is again a keyword. Okay, so this right, print is a function, keyword dot kw list. By this we can see what are the different keywords or reserved words in Python. No need to buy heart. As we will move forward, we will use all these keywords in our program also. Now let us come to the next type of token, that is my identifiers. That is my identifiers. Okay, in simple words, identifiers. In simple word, identifier, right now we don't know what is function. Right now we don't know what are modules. So right now we'll know that identifier means variables. Identifier means variables. What is variable? Variable means the value which changes. Let me just show you. The second one is your variables or identifiers. Let me write identifiers, and with that I would write variables. Now you know, learners, that variables x, for example x, if x is equal to 5, if I write x equal to x plus 5 or 10, the value of x will change. So variable means, in mathematics also you've done, the variable means which values changes, which values changes in program. We can change the values. If I write, for example, y equal to 0, and next I write y equal to y plus 100, you know that the new value of y will be what? 100. So y value can be changed. So identifiers means variables which values we can change throughout the program. It is not fixed in nature. Now learn a very important concept. If you know this, you will understand how to write variables. Very important concept here. There are certain rules. There are certain rules. There are certain rules to define variables or identifiers as a whole. To define identifiers. Okay. Identifiers. This I am considering that now it is variable because you know what is variable. But identifier, I told you, it can be a function, module, etc. Okay, that we'll learn in our future classes also. Now what are the different rules to define a variable or identifiers? First rule is that, remember, write it down. First rule is that variable can contain, or the identifiers can contain only first rule is that variable can contain only three things. First one is your alphabet, that is in capital. It can be from A to Z, or it can be from small a to Z, anything in between. Okay. Secondly, it can contain digits. We know there are only 10 digits, that is from 0 to 9. And it can contain underscore. That's it. Other than this, nothing should be there in the variable name. Again I repeat, we are studying what are the different rules of to define a variable. Very important topic. Very important topic. First one is your alphabet, that is A to Z in lowercase or uppercase, digits, that is 0 to 9, and underscore. Other than that, nothing should be there in your variable name. Is it clear? Write it down. Write it down. Other than this, nothing should be there. So if I take example right now, let me take example. I can take capital B, small d, 9 underscore. This is a correct variable name because it contains, as I've told you. Okay. It is not mandatory to take all the things. You can leave anything. You can leave this capital B also, but this is a genuine example. Now first rule is clear, that is a variable name or identifier name can contain these all things. Second rule, this is my first rule. Second rule, the first character, you know, a variable name can have n number. For example, if I take example India, this is my first character. Okay, I'm talking about this I. If I take for example, so this is my first character. Okay, like this. Okay, I'm just taking. So the first character of a variable name cannot contain digit. Again I repeat, the first character of a variable name, take it 9, the first character of a variable. Now you can see this is variable, this is my first character, and it is 9. It will be an error or bug. In programming sense we say it bug. So let me take another example. If I write, for example, 4 ABC, this 4, it will be an error because I told you the second rule is that let me write it here, the first character. I'm talking first character. Second, now for example, if you write A4BC, now in this case my first character is alphabet. No worry, it is a correct coding. Okay, let me do this. Let me show you practically also. So the second rule is that the first character of a variable or identifier or variable, you can write in bracket variable also, cannot be a digit. Okay, cannot be a digit. Let me show you practically also so that you can understand the concept, otherwise it is not. Okay, let me use write ABC. Okay, let me use 10 underscore let me give equal to 5. Okay, I'm giving in the variable, this is my variable name, this is variable name, that is abc underscore, and I'm giving a value 5 to this variable. Okay, let me see. Okay, it is perfect. Let me print it. Let me print also. Print is a function. Let me write the same abc 10 underscore, and let me see. Okay, you will see 5 will come. Okay, perfect. Now let me use a first digit. Let me use it as a 8. Let me use 8 ab equal to 100. Now according to my second rule, the first character cannot be a digit. Okay, let us find out. If it is an error, it means my second rule is correct. You can see syntax error. Why? Because first character is a what? Is a digit. We can write like this 8ab. Okay, I'm just writing 100. Now you can see again digit is there, but first character is alphabet. Done. Okay, it is not a digit. Simple case, first character cannot be digit. It can be underscore also. Okay, it can be your first character, it can be underscore. Let me write 8 8. Okay, a. Again, I told you there should be three things only, that is underscore is there, and first character cannot be digit, so it is again correct. Okay, so your first character can be alphabet, or can be an underscore. Okay, but not a digit. It is correct. Or you can write this is also right. Let me print it. Let me also print, so that whether we are doing the right coding or not, we must know also. Okay, underscore 8a. If I write this 8a, you can see I'm giving it the variable name. Now it will be 100 will come. Okay, underscore is also correct. This is also variable. This is also identifier. Okay, if you print underscore, it will perfect coding. Okay, so I hope the second rule is clear to all of you, that first character cannot be a digit, rest it can contain alphabets or any other. Let me use another character. Let me use for example abc, and let me use some other hash. Okay, I'm using some other, yeah, dollar equal to 100. Again error will come, because I told you that a variable name can contain only three things: alphabets, like in this case alphabets A to Z, capital also you can take, I will take another one, but digits and underscore, rest nothing should be there. Again invalid. You can also take capital also, na, a equal to 100, it is correct, na? But if you write print, can you tell me, if you write print small a, will 100 come? No, I told you that Python is a case sensitive language. Small a, capital A is different. So again error, because there is no such a, but a is defined. Okay, but if you write print capital A, you will get the output as 100, because we have in this, you can see in this area I'm talking about, we have given a as 100. So this is very important. Small things are very important concept. Don't by heart the things, understand the concept. It will make you good coder and programmer, and also have a very good career. So these are the small concepts you must know. Let us move forward. We are discussing, we have discussed the second rule. Till now we have discussed first rule, that is this one. Second rule is that the first character of identifier cannot be a digit. Okay, it can be alphabet or underscore. Third rule is that a variable name or identifier, I'm taking variable only, a variable name can't be a keyword or reserve words. Right now we have discussed what is keywords. So the next thing is that, let me do this. We cannot use a keyword. Right now at the top you can see these are my keywords. So we cannot use this as my variable name. It means that if I write if, see if is there, you can see somewhere if will be there. See this one, it is a keyword, na? So we cannot use it as our variable name. Why? Because keywords cannot be used. Now you will say that Sojit sir, in first rule you have told that a variable name rules to define identifier, that we can contain alphabet. Yes, according to first rule it is right. Alphabet should be there. But in alphabets we know there are certain words that are reserved. I told you that has been reserved. We cannot use that words as our variable name. Now in this case, if you write if equal to 100, it will be an error. But if I write capital I, and let me use this is not error, because it is a Python is a case sensitive language. Now the code is correct. Okay, so it is completely fine. If you write if also, the answer will come as 100. So I hope the concept is clear, the how to define a variable or identifier, so that when you use it in your program, you don't just think why we are using that. We are using, there is certain rules we are following. In every language we follow. Okay, For example, if you go to C++, dollar sign is also used, but in Python we have removed the dollar sign, has been removed. Only three things, that is alphabets, digits and underscore is used. Okay, so this is my third rule, that is your the keywords or the reserved words cannot be, it cannot be as a, for example, let me also tell, if I write if equal to 100, it will be an error. Why? Because if is a keyword, it is a keyword and keyword cannot be used as a variable name. But if write if equal to 100, perfect, because Python is a, see, I'm just giving you brief examples also so that there is no confusion at all. Okay, now let us come to the fourth rule, very important rule. Fourth rule says that, fourth rule says that we cannot have space in between a variable name. For example, if I write a space, I'm giving space, this is my space, b equal to 100, it will be an error. We cannot give space in between. This space is there, you can see this space is there, this should be not be there. If it is there, it will be an error. Okay, so let me show you practically also so that you can understand. If I write, for example, let me use same a comma space b equal to 100, again there should not be space, so invalid syntax, it is an invalid syntax. Why? Because we are giving a space. We can say it is a blunder, we cannot use these things, space in between. If you write a comma b, it is correct. I will tell you this will go afterwards. Okay, this will go afterwards, how to implement multiple you can say variable at one go, that we will understand afterwards. Okay, so this is my third rule, very important rule also. Now fourth example is that you can when this is not a rule, but whenever we are good coder, for example, if you're finding principal, okay, if you're finding, or if you're finding simple interest, so write si equal to 100 like this. This is not a rule, but a good programmer use a logical variable name so that it is easy for me to understand. For example, if I'm using roll number, so roll equal to, you take 100 like this, so this, it is easy. And the last rule is that you can have infinite character as your variable name. Let me show you a simple example, you understand. I mean to say that you can have infinite, but don't use dot, because again we know what are the things that are used. Okay, we can use underscore, we know we can use underscore, and we can use any numbers. You can have infinite name as a variable name, give 1, that's it, or 100. Perfect, perfect. If you want to print, let me print. We need to copy this because I'm not going to write it again, it is a long code. Let me copy this and just print it, the output will be given. So there is no certain rule that after 5 character you can give any character you want, you can give any character. I'm just giving you a capital also, but remember we have to follow the rules. Okay, now you give 5, perfect, no error. Yeah, and when you print, so this let me again just recall everything so that it is easy for you to understand. We have started with tokens. We know tokens are the smallest unit of any programming language. Right now we are discussing Python, so we'll say that tokens are smallest unit of Python language. Okay, it's done. Now there are 5 type of tokens. In today's session we are discussing what? We are discussing keywords that are reserved words. They have a special meaning to the interpreter. They cannot be used everywhere. Before using, we must know how to use that. Okay, keywords, how to find out keywords, we'll go to this part, import keyword, and these are my keywords, these are my keywords. Okay, write import keyword, and like this we can, no need to buy it. I told you in my earlier you can say in earlier time also, no need to buy it. As we move forward we'll use that. Okay, after this if you go down, I told you that Python is a case sensitive language. It means there is a difference between capital A and small a, very important thing. HTML is not a case sensitive language. Okay, identifiers means variable name. There are 5 rules. First rule is that you can use alphabets, digits and underscore. Other than this, nothing. Other than this, nothing. Let me show you again. You can use alphabets. You can use alphabets. Okay, you can use number, underscore. Perfect. Other than this, if you use anything, let me use star mark. Okay, it will be an error. This is not because this is a operator, but other than this, if you use anything, for example, if you use a v, okay, if you use dollar sign, okay, it will be error. This is not a variable. Okay, this is different thing. Okay, is it clear? If you write z, see z into, if you use, again it will be error because z is not defined. This is, we are, this is, I'll teach you these operators. don't get confused. Okay, because a has been defined here, so we are just multiplying a with 100 with into 10. Okay, so this we'll discuss earlier, but other than this, don't use anything. Okay, next thing is that I told you that variable name. Okay, the first character cannot be a digit, the rest it can be alphabet. You can use alphabets also, like 10a equal to 100, wrong, but underscore a 1 you can give afterwards is 100, it is correct. Okay, we cannot use keywords. Let me else is a keyword. Okay, else is a keyword, so we cannot use as a variable name, but we can use capital Else because Python is a case language. Again, don't use space, c space d, it will be an error. Okay, you cannot use space, and at last you can go for any character. See, I've given comma, so it will be an error. You can see I've given comma, so don't give comma. You can go to any characters, if whatever, but it should be a valid index, and you just give 100 here, or any 2.2 also you can, it is correct. Okay, so this is the basic concept of, we can say, identifiers or variables, to how to define variables in, you can say, in Python. I'll give you some homeworks. If you want, you can do, just prove whether this is valid or invalid in identifiers, whether this is valid or invalid identifiers. Okay, let me give you some example. First one is, for example, I give India. Second one, let me give you 1947 India. Third one, let me give you I space is there, n is there, equal to 100. Let me give some values also. Fourth one is that I, okay, I've given dollar sign and dollar sign d equal to 500. Okay, fifth one is your, I'm giving a if equal to 500, and now I'm giving capital if equal to 500, and this is more than enough. Find out whether these are valid or invalid in with identifiers. If it is easy for you, you know the concept of identifier right now. Okay, okay, thank you students, thank you learners, thank you for watching my channel, and keep coding, because as I told you that coding is the future, and have a sound knowledge or basic knowledge about coding, so that it helps you. No need to by heart anything. Coding is something that you cannot by heart. For that, your practical concepts is very strong, then only you can become a good programmer or have a better future. Thank you everyone.